Okay, so we learned that if Otto sells toy cars and trucks and makes $1 profit on cars, $1 profit on trucks, he's going to maximize his profit when he makes 6 cars and 2 trucks and he sells them. And then we learned if instead of being worth $1 profit, trucks became worth $2 profit, but the profit on cars stayed the same. The new combination that maximizes his profit is going to be 4 trucks and 3 cars. And let me switch that around. It's going to be 3 cars and 2 trucks. And we did a lot of work to get there, didn't we? We started by constructing cars and trucks out of paper and making a list of all 32 different combinations of cars and trucks that Otto could make. We had to put those points on a graph. We had to find relationships in our data in order to be confident that Otto Toyom was maximizing his profit. And so right now I'm going to tell you, why do all that work? We don't need to work so hard to optimize our constraints. All we need to do is think about the big tooth. And what are the big tooth? Well, number one, we ask ourselves the question, what are my limited resources? And so in this case, what are Otto's limited resources? They're his wheels and his seats and his gas tanks. He doesn't have an infinite amount of everything to work with. He just has 36 wheels, 14 seats, and 15 gas tanks. And those 3 limited resources are what we need to keep top of mind as we solve this problem. The second question that we ask ourselves, is how am I using them? So, Otto's wheels, seats, and gas tanks, how is he using them? Well, he's using them to make toy cars and toy trucks, right? Let's keep those thoughts in our mind as we begin to formalize a process for solving our constrained optimization problems more quickly and with less work. Let's dive into this. I said that we were going to keep Otto's limited resources top of mind, and I'm going to make a table where my limited resources are top of table. We know wheels seats and tanks are our 3 limited resources. And what we call these are constraints. Constrained optimization problems have constraints. Wheels, seats, and tanks are limited resources. Those are our constraints. And I like to keep my constraints at the top of my table. What's that second question in the big tooth? Oh, right. How are we using our limited constraints? And we already know we're using our limited constraints to make toy cars and toy trucks. And so we're going to add 2 rows to this table that give us information about that. We're making cars and we're making trucks. And we already know that cars go on our x-axis, so I'm going to make a note of that. And I'm going to make a note that trucks go on our y-axis. And the last thing that we need to think about as we construct this table is how many resources do we have to work with? Go back into the book, if you don't remember, and figure out how many wheels, seats, and gas tanks we are working with here. I'm looking in the book, and I see his storeroom has 36 wheels, 14 seats, and 15 gas tanks. We're going to use that and take those notes in the last row. These are our totals. And he has 36 wheels, 14 seats, and 15 gas tanks. And now, let's fill in our 6 remaining cells. Every car takes 4 wheels to make. Every car takes 2 seats and 1 gas tank. Every truck takes 6 wheels, 1 seat, and 2 gas tanks. No, sorry, 3 gas tanks. And now we have all of the information from the text of that problem here in a table. I'm going to pause it here, pick it up in the next video, where we turn this data into equations that'll help us solve our problem quickly. I'll see you there.